I am your host, Christene Marie. Y'all, I am so thrilled to welcome you here. For those of you who are new, on the Knowing Show, we talk about the cultivation of the human being, cultivating the human intelligences in a world addicted to and obsessed with artificial. And the reason why this is so important goes beyond you saving your job or goes beyond you still having something that you can relate with in terms of other people and relationships beyond AI companions. So many people are resorting to digital technology to replace the connection that they're craving. So much of this reason actually lends to if you do lose your job and if you are alone in the home, in God forbid the world. Somebody on the show the other day said that he's lost his mom, his dad, and his brother, and he's completely alone in the world. And so much of the reason why we're on here and doing the work to cultivate the intellect, each one, the intellectual, emotional, spiritual, and physical intelligences, is so that we can have meaning. We know who we are. We know whose we are. We know why we're here. And we're not left floundering, and we don't waste this precious life. I really do believe that there's more than this, but regardless, I was talking with somebody at dinner the other night. He was like, no, I actually don't believe in life after death. And it's like, all right, well, are you still going to live this life and make it beautiful and meaningful as much as you possibly can? And so to that end, to the point of why are we here? Who are you? We are answering, and not even just answering those questions, but we're considering those questions every day because there's new information for us to learn. There's new discoveries to be made. There's deeper insights. There's beauty to be found and joy to be had every single day. And we get to choose that. It is our choice if we're going to view the world through the lens of our creator or view the world through the lens of the created. Looking at the world and deriving our meaning from what other people say, want, what they do, versus who we were innately in our nature made to be. And so that's a bit of what we discuss here on the show. I'm Christene Marie, and I'm excited to dive in with you. We are going to read today lesson 132 from A Course in Miracles. This workbook has 365 lessons, and we are on day 132 of the year, so welcome. And we are going to just do a quick review of some of the preceding lessons that all lead up to and provide context for today's. So with that, I'm going to start with lesson 121. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. Lesson 122, forgiveness offers everything I want. Lesson 123, I thank my Father for his gifts to me. Lesson 124, let me remember I am one with God. Lesson 125, in quiet I receive God's word today. Lesson 126, all that I give is given to myself. Lesson 127, there is no love but God's. Lesson 128, the world I see holds nothing that I want. Lesson 129, beyond this world, there is a world I want. Lesson 130, it is impossible to see two worlds. Lesson 131, no one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. And today's lesson, 132, I loose the world from all I thought it was. What keeps the world in claims but your belief? In chains but your belief. And what can save the world except yourself? Belief is powerful enough. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong in their effect as is the truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real and does not doubt it, nor can he be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effect. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind, and all thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought has shifted, for to change your mind means you have changed the source of all the thoughts you think or ever thought you or will think. You free the past from what you thought before. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. Here is the present world that set free. For as you let go the past to be lifted and release the future from your ancient fears, you find escape and give it back to the world. You have enslaved the world with all your fears, your doubts and miseries, your pain and tears, and all your sorrows. Press on and keep the world a prisoner to your belief. Death strikes it everywhere because you hold the bitter thoughts of death within your mind. The world is nothing in itself. You must give it meaning. And what you behold upon it are your wishes, acted out so you can look on them and think them real. Perhaps you think you did not make the world, but came unwillingly to what was already made, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. There is no world from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. Change but your mind on what you want to see, and all the world changes accordingly. Ideas leave not their source. This central theme is often stated in the text and must be borne in mind if you would understand the lesson for today. It is not pride which tells you that you made the world you see and that it changes as you change your mind. But it is pride that argues you have come into a world quite separate from yourself, impervious to what you think, and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. There is no world. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and everyone must go as far as he can let himself be led back along the road to truth. He will return and go farther still, or perhaps step back a while and then return again. But healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn there is no world and can accept the lesson now. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they understand and recognize. Some see it suddenly on point of death and rise to teach it, and others find it in experience that is not of this world. Others find it in an experience that is not of this world, which shows them that the world does not exist because what they behold must be the truth, and yet it clearly contradicts the world. And some will find it in this course and in the exercises that we do today. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist. And if it is indeed your own imagining, then you can loose it from all things you ever thought it was by merely changing all the thought that gave it these appearances. The sick are healed as you let go of all sick thoughts, and the dead arise when you let thoughts of life replace all thoughts you ever held of death. A lesson earlier repeated must be stressed again, for it contains the firm foundation for today's idea. You are as God created you. There is no place where you can suffer and no time that can bring change to your eternal state. How can a world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know yourself is the salvation of the world? To free the world from every kind of pain, but to change your mind about yourself. There is no world apart from your ideas because ideas leave not their source, and you maintain the world within your mind in thought. Yet if you are as God created you, you cannot think apart from him, nor make what does not share his timelessness and love. Are these inherent in the world you see? Does it create like him? Unless it does, it is not real and cannot be at all. If you are real, the world you see is false, for God's creation is unlike the world in every way. And as it was his thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts which made it and must set it free, that you must know the thoughts you share with God. Release the world. Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. God shares his fatherhood with you, his son, for he makes no distinctions in what is himself and what is still himself. What he creates is not apart from him, and nowhere does the Father end and the Son begin as something separate from him. There is no world because it is a thought apart from God and made to separate the Father and the Son and break away a part of God himself and thus destroy his wholeness. Can a world which comes from this idea be real? Can it be anywhere? Deny illusions, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadow briefly laid upon a dying world. Release your mind and look upon a world released. Today, our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts we ever held about it and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be there, no more than can we. For we are in the home our Father set for us along with them. And we who are created as he created us would lose the world this day from every one of our illusions that we may be free. Begin the 15-minute periods in which we practice today with this. I, who remain as God created me, would lose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. Then merely rest, alert but with no strain. Let your mind in quietness be changed so that the world is freed along with you. You need not realize that healing comes to many brothers far across the world, as well as the ones you see nearby, as you send out these thoughts to bless the world, but you will sense your own release, although you may not fully understand as yet that you could never be released alone. Throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and then say, whenever you are tempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, I lose the world from all it was and change my own reality instead. Wow. Y'all, I got to think about this one, to be honest with you. There are a couple of points where, and just for context, for those of you who are new, so we go live every morning, 6 a.m. Eastern. No, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern. And we also have an afternoon evening show most days. This week I'm actually traveling and I'm going to be in LA, hence why I said 6 a.m. And I'm not going to be doing as many of the knowing shows in the evening. But for the most part, we will have guests on in the evenings that I don't 100% agree with. And sometimes I've actually read this a couple of times, and there have been times where I've read it and I've been like, I don't know if I agree with that. And it might be pieces. It might be the whole lesson. That's been rare. And there were aspects where I paused as I was reading and was like, oh, I need to sit with that. And what I always encourage all of us to consider is, what can I glean from this? Because man, people hold so much wisdom for us. The barista, the person on the side of the road, the senator, you know what I mean? It spans geography, it spans position, it spans industry. Every single person knows something that can benefit the rest of us. And so if we approach whatever we're reading or consuming or talk the person we're talking to, and we have that approach where we're open and there's a humility to listen and to really see them as someone who God created, somebody who is loved, and I want to learn from you. Man, it's like they light up. My darling will always ask for people's first name, regardless of where we are. The gas station attendant. And I was with his boys this week, and it was really sweet. His little boys are like, thank you, Miss Lori. And they say the person's name and are just so attentive and so polite and so caring to folks. People, their entire countenance changes once they're seen. And so there's something around, are we willing to be open and listen and learn, even if it's 5% out of the 100% of what they're sharing, and see that person as someone loved and worthy and cherished. And here's what's so interesting, even as I say that, the way that we view other people is a reflection of how we view ourselves. So if we're looking at the 95% of their failings, or we're looking at the 5% of their failings, and that's what we're fixated on, y'all, that colors and changes our entire perception of not just them, but also the world. We're looking for the negative, and we're looking for that which is imperfect and flawed and not to our standards, or whatever it may be. And so this concept, today's lesson, I loose the world from all I thought it was. If we were to go into conversations, go into a lesson such as this, go into today with this lesson in the back of our minds, I'm going to withhold my thoughts, my projections of who I'm going to experience, what I'm going to do, how it's going to go. And instead, I'm really eager and willing and wanting to view life through the lens of God and see people, see places, see experiences, encounter experiences for the integrity of what it can be, rather than, man, I love that she says we get freedom when we do that, because otherwise we are going in and we're assigning boxes to our own experiences and to other people. We're actually putting boundaries and walls up in which people must exist if we're going in with our own preconceived perceptions on what it's going to be like. Y'all, the world could be far more beautiful than we ever thought if we are willing to allow for this to be true. And man, there's just so much in what she said. I'm gonna honestly go back and reread this because it's very, very dense as well. The world is nothing in itself. Your mind must give it meaning. And what you behold upon it are your wishes, acted out so you can look on them and think of them as real. Perhaps you think you did not make the world, but came unwillingly to whatever was made, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. Y'all, we're dealing in some ways with like a blank canvas. We're creating every single day. We're creating our experience. We're creating our reality as we know it. And yesterday, I could not find my wallet. I knew I had misplaced it, but I was getting a rental car. And so I had my passport, but they wouldn't allow me to pick it up. So I literally had to go get a new driver's license. I just moved, got a new driver's license, but it was just, I was set back about 6 hours on my day. And now I'm in this little hotel in Blythe, California. And I was set back pretty significantly. And the whole time that was happening, I was like, okay, one, the narrative, because every single one of us has a belief system to which we adhere when things go wrong. And when things go well too. But really, these core beliefs that we hold come out when we're having a bad day or something's going wrong. So for 6 hours, I'm going to the motor vehicle place. I'm calling all these restaurants to see where it is. I had a feeling I left it with somebody. So I called them, asked them, or texted them, asked them to look. And so for 6 hours, this is happening. And the narrative that I kept kind of reminding myself was, this is for me. And then I asked myself, why am I creating this? Why do I want this to be true? And what I realized yesterday is that there was a part of me that does not want to go to LA. And as I leaned into it, just kind of being curious as I was going back, back and forth, trying to figure out where my wallet was, I realized that I feel really nervous about going. I'm going to the National Association for Women in Construction. It starts tomorrow, goes through Friday. And the lazy part of me is like, it's so much easier to just not go. Like I'm setting a hard goal for myself to go and get 5 new clients. And I'm just like, like that just sounds great. And there's a real part of me that didn't want to go. And it was almost like I was creating these excuses. I was creating these reasons to not go. This one paragraph that I just read, I'm going to read back a section of it. Y'all, this is so important. And I think it's important for you to consider, do you believe this or not? Because you're going to live your life according to your belief around this concept. Perhaps you think you did not make the world, but came unwillingly to what was already made, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. We find what we're looking for. We find what we're looking for in people. We find what we're looking for in situations and circumstances. Y'all, if we have deep-seated fear about us, if I hold a narrative, and this is true, if I hold the narrative that I'm not wanted, and I'm bringing that fear with me into a setting, I am going to experience that I'm not wanted. We look for validation for what we believe or what we hope for or what we want. We are subconsciously looking for that. We are subconsciously seeking out that which we believe, even if we don't want it to be true, but but we believe that it's true, we're going to conjure up experiences that prove that. And then the narrative after that is, see, I told you so. And it's like, well, or did you create that? Because that's what you thought would happen. That's what you expected. And you're putting that, it's like, man, this whole concept of where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Y'all, if we're fixating and thinking about something and all of our thoughts are going and funneling into something potentially happening that we don't want to have happen, and thus all of our energy is going in that direction, why would we think it wouldn't happen? I had this very experience. I was driving to meet somebody. I stopped off and had a hair appointment. The hair appointment ran long and I was 5 minutes late. And I get in my car and thankfully I'm like a mile away from the coffee shop, but I'm like, dang it. And I'm kind of beating myself up for being late. And I had this thought. I was like, wouldn't it be so ironic if I rear-ended him? And it was so bizarre. I switched the radio and I rear-ended him. And I got out of the car and I was like, first, I couldn't believe I rear-ended somebody. And second, I couldn't believe it was that guy. Like, I had never met this dude. And we were meeting a dude. He was a man. But we were colleagues. I had just spoken at the mastermind he was a part of a couple weeks ago. We met up and it was just wild to see that exactly what I was just thinking about happened perfectly. But it was because I was giving my energy and my attention to something. And y'all, the reverse can happen too. I had this realization, or I guess honestly, it wasn't even a realization. I really felt like God gave me just this. I think God speaks to us. I really, really do. And so I feel like God shared this with me 2 years ago. Gratitude is the antidote. Gratitude is the antidote to pain. It's the antidote to our circumstances. It's the antidote to us being annoyed with our partner or us being annoyed with our children. If we switch and change what we're looking for in a person, we will find that. If we start looking for reasons to be grateful, if we start looking for beautiful and wonderful things about them, we will surely find it because it's there. They were made just like we were in the image of the Creator. And so there's wonderful things about these people that we are privileged to love and to know, yet we find what we're looking for in the external world, in other people, and in ourselves. What are we looking for? Where are we placing our attention? And thus, where are we placing our energy? And y'all, it really, the thought is the beginning in so many ways. And the reason why I say so many ways is because you've got the thought, and then you place your attention, and then you put your energy towards it. But usually that thought, if you really, really examine it, it goes all the way down to a belief system. And that belief system was formed because of an experience. So you have a choice every single day to give weight and attention and energy to thoughts. But in so doing, yes, it's really helpful to just be like, oh, I'm not going to give my attention to that. I'm not going to give my energy there. That helps a lot with us creating a different life. But sometimes those thoughts do actually need to be critically examined. So not subconsciously giving your attention and energy to it, but rather critically examine and saying, where did this come from? Because I want to uproot this thought entirely. This needs to be gone. And a lot of times, again, that thought is predicated in a belief system that occurred and was formed by a moment, an experience in childhood often that was really painful. And so in that process of examining it, there's an element of really doing the work to understand why that's there. And then it's not enough to just, okay, I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to do away with that experience and heal that experience, do away with that belief system. We need to put something new in its place. What fills the void? James Allen authored the book As a Man Thinketh. And so the concept is that we've got a garden of our minds. So what goes in the stead of that old belief system? When we pluck it out and we need to have something else there. Otherwise, weeds are going to grow in and things without our own intention will come and take its place. So as we dismantle these old belief systems, which new ones go in their place? And I actually think I wasn't planning to do a knowing show tonight, but I think that I will once I arrive in LA. Let me just check my calendar because I want to go through the knowing framework with you guys. The knowing framework is pretty much how to do this, how to replace the old with the new. So let's go ahead and plan for 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Okay, I'm now just going to jump here in the chats. Good morning, everyone. Deuces, good morning. I'm glad to see you. The Count of Saint Germain, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, my. Okay, all this. Steve, good morning. Mike, good morning. American Redneck, good morning. Calf, good morning. Thank you, Gray Tone. Thank you so much for being wonderful. You were so wonderful yesterday, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad for you just kind of helping out in the chat, so thank you. Steve, I love that. God is limited only by your imagination. Wow. That's so powerful. Terry, good morning. Good to see you. I'm just reading through the chat, so give me 1 second. Gray Tone, I'm the last of my bloodline. My great-grandfather came from Norway and was a logger. Today I go to the land by myself and I'm doing the last logging camp ever in my family. Wow, I'm old, veteran, and disabled. Wow. Oh, wow. Man, I know Count of Saint Germain says you don't have kids. Hold on, I'm scrolling down to see. A part of me doesn't want to go to the last logging camp. Oh man. That's hard. Yeah, go find some prodigies to take it over for you. An illness within the mind of a man tells us we are separate from each other, whereas in real reality, we're all one mind. We play hide and seek with ourselves. I love that we play hide and seek with ourselves. Tyron, good morning. Pablo, good morning. Thanks for joining HB. Daniel, good morning. Daniel, I'm actually gonna do something. I think I'm gonna, let me see. I think I'm gonna block you, my friend, because it doesn't seem like you're adding much value and you're not being kind. There we go. All right. Just scrolling back in the chat. All right. Sad Hugh-Jot, good morning. Hello. Donna, good morning. Mark, good morning. Good afternoon, Bonnie Lass from Newcastle, England. I love that. Steve says, haters in chat are getting thick. Yeah, I'm with you. Thank you, Gray Tone. I'm so glad that you said that. Thank you. Abdul, good morning. Craig, good morning. Lyle Sloth, good morning. Uma, good morning. K5, hello. Yoda, good morning. I'm glad you're here. Comic Flick Fusion, hello. Z-Rose, good morning. Body Transformer, good morning. Blake, I don't know. God gave it. Thank you all so much for joining. Born Confused, good morning. Tyler Buck, feel free to ask. We just, a rule for the chat is that we are respectful and kind. David Wise. Yay, Steve, I love that. Looks like this live feed is becoming part of my morning medicine. That makes me so happy. I'm sorry for the times when there's like terrible trolls in there and then it takes me a while to catch up. Jones, good morning. Oh, man. Ludpa, good morning. Sarwin, Giefer, Richard, good morning, y'all. Truffle, good morning. All right, y'all. I actually am going to jump off. I've got to go drive to LA and got to go be brave and sell some folks. So, and I've never done this, so we'll see how it goes. I will report back, but I'm going to go ahead and put on the calendar for 3 p.m. today Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. I want to go through the knowing framework with you guys. This was really meaningful to me. It's outlined in my book, and I'm really excited to share it with you and just hear your thoughts, honestly. For those of you who are new, welcome to the show. We go live at 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern every single day, and most days we'll go live in the afternoons. This week I'm traveling, so it's a little bit funky, but we'll go live again today in the afternoon, 3 p.m. Pacific. I will see you later. Have a wonderful day. Tyron, good to see you. Anthony, Yoda, Steve, Jones, Eyeball, Great Tone. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.